Hey everyone, today we're going to be looking at Dagan Gera from Jedi Survivor. This is one of the few unique sculpts that we've gotten from Jedi Survivor other than Cal Kestis himself. I do have to say the character selection is a little bit strange. I was expecting to see Merrin or Seer way before we ever saw this guy, but I think him coming to the Black Series actually increases the chances of seeing both of those two other characters. I think often a toy company will release a less popular character before the more popular one because I think a lot of people might have bought Merrin and passed on Dagan, but since there's this newness to this figure, people might go for this one and then also get Merrin later. Due to his design, there is some restriction on the head movement here as well as the arm movement. He does have a butterfly joint, but just like often with Force wielders, they have robes that get in the way of them kind of sticking their arms out right in front of them. But with most lightsaber poses, you're not really doing that anyway. Just past 90 at the elbow and the knee, and everything about this figure is so nice. The colors, just the paint work, the sculpt, it's really actually quite beautiful. They even did some painted detail on the back here, which you will never see unless you're literally lifting the cape. There's no poses in which that would show, and I know it's funny that that should be actually a plus, but a lot of times we see Hasbro skimping on paint work on other figures, so it's kind of almost frustrating to see that level of detail in a spot where we'll never see it, while we have figures on our shelf with unpainted parts completely visible. The lightsabers are a new design. It's sort of a High Republic look here, and they do snap together to make a double-bladed saber. And apologies for the focus here. I'm filming this on a new iPhone because I broke mine, and it seems like the software has not caught up yet with the hardware. And with this figure having such a heavy plastic cape, he does want to lean backwards a little bit, so you do have to kind of like work him leaning forward just a little bit in order to get him sturdy. So we have to talk about the invisible elephant in the room, which is that the arm is not included with this. We have this plastic piece that is glued on to sort of fill that hole there. And in the game, we see him for a lot of it without the second arm, and that's always how I remembered it. I actually didn't even remember that at one point in the fight, this other blue Force arm comes in, and the rest of the fight, he's got two arms. It's just a little bit strange. I don't know if the characters can see that arm or if it's just meant to kind of show the audience. But either way, it was a pretty big surprise when Hasbro revealed this a few days ago that this figure is going to be re-released with that Force Ghost arm, kind of making this the superior figure. I personally prefer it without, but a lot of people felt like it should be a swappable part included with the original instead of locked behind a 2-pack. But the good news is that this figure has not really come out yet, so if you have a pre-order, you can always cancel it and get the other one. I think it would have been kind of scummy if they had waited until everyone got these and then like released the Force Ghost version in a 6 months to a year, but I think doing it the way they did is acceptable. And you guys know I love to use my height comparison segment as a way to show off some customs. So here we have Cal Kestis with a custom head by Fett Clone, and then we also have this trooper here that is actually from the Solo era. I always thought this trooper was cool, so I gave him the wand from one of the Jedi Fallen Order figures. Then we also have the Super Battle Droid with the Jedi Survivor paint job, and then one of my favorite figures in my collection is this custom from Frederick's Figures of Merrin. This is so nice looking that I don't even really care if Black Series ever does her. I hope they do for everyone else's sake, but I'm fully content with having this on my shelf. Usually a custom doesn't fully scratch the itch, but this one I think is super solid. And even next to two of these custom heads by two of the best painters in the toy community, I think this figure totally holds up. I think the face print looks great. I have no desire or like need to have it repainted, which I do for a lot of my figures, as you guys probably know, but this is largely perfect. The only thing that I did do is a matte spray, so I did take this outside and hit it with some Mr. Super Clear Flat. It is my favorite matte spray, and definitely don't use Krylon. That stuff will look terrible over time. So I've been going through all of my shelves and doing a collection tour on my channel. I haven't gotten to my like sort of gaming slash miscellaneous slash sequel shelf yet, so I thought this was a great opportunity to show off my little Jedi Survivor slash Fallen Order area with a lot of custom heads by Fett Clone, by Frederick, these 3D prints by Syndicate Customs, and a lot of the creatures like Turgle and the Boglings are from my Patreon. The Boglings and Turgle were painted by the Toxic Collector. We've got this custom KX security droid that I did myself using Vallejo hemp color paint, but I will save the rest of this shelf for my next collection tour, so make sure you subscribe if you would like to see that and check out the other 4 shelves. In the meantime, if you have not already, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Please leave a like if you did enjoy this video. I haven't done a shelf series video in a while. I did a Jedi Fallen Order one about a year ago in anticipation of Survivor, so you can see that video on my channel, but there are just so many more figures that have come out since that I think it's time for an update. Let me know in the comments below if you'll be picking up this figure. If you played this game and you have Cal Kestis but you're not going to be getting this figure, I would really love to hear why. Otherwise, give a like, leave a comment, and I will see you all next time.